So I don't know, Roses, why everybody is treating this rapture thing like it was a hoax.
Rapture thing?
You weren't aware of this?
We were raptured?
No, there was, the rapture happened. We're recording this on September 24th of 2025, and the rapture just happened.
Oh, I was busy.
And everybody's on the internet being like, ha ha ha, rapture, it's a hoax. I'm up here.
Oh, no. Well, I'm not. How are we recording?
Well, they have internet up here.
Oh, that's good.
They let you podcast from up here, and I'm up here, and I guess because everyone else thought it was a hoax, no one else is here. I'm here.
Are you alone, Matt?
No, St. Peter's here, and he's being really annoying. I guess he's just been up here by himself for like a long time, and so he just keeps wanting to talk. And like, dude, his cultural references are so old.
Oh no!
Right? Because he's like, so. Have you seen that new tablet that that Jeff...
And you're like the iPad Pro, right? And he's like, what?
yeah. He's like, no, the tablet that Ezekiel carved. And I'm like, no, dude, I haven't seen the tablet that Ezekiel carved. He's like, oh, no, it's real cool. It's cool.
Cool.
Did you hear that monotone chant that Jebediah wrote? No, I didn't hear the monotone chant that Jebediah wrote. Oh no, it's cool. No, it's good. If you get a chance. That's it. All he's doing, and I thought I was like, oh, cool, rapture. I'm going up. Here we go. It's gonna be a big party.
Yeah,
no, it's just me and this fucking guy. No,
this fucking guy. Do you need me to come get you?
No, I don't want to. Hold on. Sorry. No. I don't want to play the game where you just push a stick back and forth. No. Yeah, okay. All right. I'll be back. I'll be around. Stay over there, please. Fucking Christ. Yeah. They don't have any they have internet, which is
strange.
Good. But it's good.
Yeah.
But this guy doesn't know how to use it. So he's just been anyway, now he's just telling me the history of. Can we just start the show? I
got something special to start the show with. Even
how? What do you mean?
Are you ready for this, Peter? St. Peter, are you ready?
Don't talk to him. No,
sorry.
Go back over. He gets so confused.
Hey everyone, Pushing Up Roses here. Welcome back to Save Your Game. With me as always, the Raptured, I guess. Matt
this isn't spooky enough. It's the beginning of spooky month. You could have been like, with me, the ghoulish. With me, the living skeleton.
Wow. What I meant to say was that I am a ghost.
Ah!
Scary. It is spooky month, though. Are you so excited?
I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited that I played a spooky game this week.
St. Peter, what are you being for
Don't
Halloween,
talk
my
to
guy?
him. No,
sorry.
He doesn't know what Halloween is. They have one holiday, and it's when it's just when the rice grows. I don't know, what do they have in ancient Aram?
The rice grows.
It's when the rice grows, and it's their one holiday, and they just call it Rice Day.
Never mind, St. Peter. It's fine.
And
I didn't need anything.
They just sit around eating rice, and they say it's their favorite day of the year. And again, I'm not in like ancient Aram. I've just for hours now been sitting with St. Peter, and he's just telling me everything.
Are you going to come
about
back, or is
his
this your
culture.
new reality?
I don't know. I've been Googling it. How to get back from Rapture.
I've been so busy during the Rapture, like watching the X-Files in my house, and I made a cat toy. I made a cat toy from crafting stuff because it's much cheaper that way, and it's her favorite thing ever. And I just didn't really notice. So does that mean that you're like naked? Because when you get raptured, don't your clothes like fall to the floor?
Come on. No, I'm in an angel robe. Duh.
Angels wear robes?
Yeah, all my clothes.
I'm gonna Google it.
All my clothes are still on the ground on the earthly
last
plane.
Place you were. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm in a big a big white angel robe.
That sounds comfy.
They are comfy. They are comfy robes.
Is it made of wool?
They might not have a lot of culture up here in heaven, but they do have
They do have
really nice robes. And they have really good lemonade.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe I'll join you in the rapture.
I think it's already done.
Oh.
You were left behind.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's already done. And I was the only guy. I was the only guy that got it. I was the only one who got it. I guess I was the only one who was good.
I mean, that seems unrealistic, but that being said, how do you play games if you're like up there?
I have the internet. I told you. So do you
Okay, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
You have so you brought your computer was raptured.
No, they have computers up here. There's a computer lab.
It's like a student lab.
Yeah, there's a computer lab in here. It's got
like
the
Excel
internet.
on it.
Yeah. And you might be saying, yeah, well, why doesn't St. Peter know anything about the modern day if he has computers here? He doesn't know how to work them. He keeps hitting them with hammers. Because he thinks it's like the clay tablets that him and his friends used to use. So he keeps hitting it with hammers.
It sounds like St. Peter has been alone for so long that he's lost his mind.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if this guy's ever had it. I think that's how he got the job.
Burn!
I think that's how he got the job. I think they were like, hey, we're all going to be inside the gates.
Yeah.
You stay out at the gates.
Here's a stick. Here's a stick to play with.
And now you might be saying, wait, well, Matt, you're saying you're outside the gates. Yeah, there's like a waiting period.
Oh.
When you get raptured, you go to heaven. You have to wait.
And there's a wait. So you've been spending all your time in the Rapture computer lab?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like pretty much the only thing. Besides the lemonade, that's the only real thing there is to do up here.
Do you have to eat? Do you eat food?
I can if I want to, but I don't have to.
Wow.
Also, it's only been like 9 hours.
Oh, sorry. I can't believe I'm pulling you into this podcast when you've just been raptured. That's so inconsiderate of me.
No, we had this scheduled.
It was scheduled. That's true.
Yeah. What are you doing for spooky month? How's your spooky month start? Okay. Peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not spooky month yet.
Listen, it is for me. Because it's always spooky month in this house. We celebrate Halloween every day in this house.
And it's spooky month for our listeners. By the time they're listening to this, it's spooky month.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm excited for all the things that I am always excited about when it comes to spooky month. I always go to a pumpkin patch.
Okay.
They usually have a little it's on a farm. So they have their animals open to give carrots to. And it's like their favorite day. Because they just get carrots all day. And they don't get how do they not get tired of the carrots?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you were given carrots all day, how would you feel?
Okay. Well, but think about it like...
I guess carrots are a treat for them, though,
Think about it. Yeah, think about what's analogous. Like if you were given... I don't know if you like donuts as much as I do.
I love donuts. Are you fucking serious? I love donuts.
Roses, I accidentally ate 3 donuts today.
Was it an accident or was it a choice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going therapist on your ass.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you were fed donuts every day, you wouldn't get sick of them.
Okay, well, it depends. All right, do you think the carrots will give their little tummies acid reflux?
No.
Then, no. If I didn't get acid reflux from the donuts, no way. I wouldn't get tired of them. Are you kidding me?
There was one time, so like you can buy a cup of carrot sticks to feed the animals. Not all the animals, because not all the animals want to be bothered. Like they need their own space, but to the animals that are very like human friendly, like goats and stuff like that, you know, you can give them little carrot sticks and they come in a cup. And I went over to, they had a special animal. They had an eland, which is the tattoo I have on my right thigh. It's why I have an eland tattoo. I saw this animal.
Yeah.
At a farm. Yeah. Thought it was the most majestic, amazing creature I've ever seen in my life. And I offered it, my hand of carrots got too close and he took the cup and kind of ate it.
And now you're not allowed back.
Now I'm banned from the pumpkin patch. But no, that's one thing I always do every year. I go to the pumpkin patch. I watch specifically Halloween type movies. I'm always watching spooky movies because I'm a horror girly. But I like to watch Halloween specific movies that have, you know, like this is for Halloween, came out on Halloween, and that's what we're going to watch. And yeah, I always try to play a spooky game. And I think last year we played a ton for this podcast. Yeah.
And this year we're going to play a ton again.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
We have a bunch planned because again, there's 5 Wednesdays during Spooky Month.
Yeah.
So that means 5 Spooky Month episodes.
Amazing. And we're not going to tell you what they are. They're all going to be a surprise.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I'm okay with that. We didn't talk about that, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's surprise people.
We'll surprise them.
Some of these titles are kind of strange, so they deserve to be, you know, kept on the edge.
There's a hint as to what next episode's
that's true
is going to be in last episode, but we won't. True. I don't think we should reference it again.
Okay, fair. I'm excited for this episode because we not only played a spooky game with kind of spooky themes, we also played it was a classic game on top of it. It was a classic game with a spooky theme. And I think this one was my idea. It just kind of came to my brain. And I'm just going to say it. It's in the title. We're going to be talking about Quest for Glory 4 Shadows of Darkness.
Hell yes.
Yes. And this is the spooky game in this series. They are not all spooky games. Every game in the Quest for Glory series has a has a specific personality to it, has a specific flavor.
Yeah.
And 4 happens to be the, you know, vampire Transylvania type of a thing. And it's great. Yeah. So I replaying it, I just love it. It was so fun. It's so broken, but it's so fun.
Yes, it was very fun. It was a very fun game. I'm guessing this is the only game you got around to playing this week.
It is, but I did do something productive. I did finish a script for the whole thing. I did finish my next X-Files script, which is also going to be a very spooky one. So that's finished. I'm going to record that tonight.
Is all X-Files spooky?
No, I don't think so. I think I understand the argument because like I cover a lot of murder mystery, and one could argue that the majority of them having murder in them makes them a little bit spooky. Maybe not horror, maybe not frightening, but spooky. But I think some of the X-Files is just corny.
Okay.
And just Mulder being a douchebag like the whole time. Yeah. This one, I think there are tiers to spookiness, right? I think the X-Files, it's got that vibe to it. It might scare you if you're younger. The episode I'm doing is very specifically a scary episode. Like scarier than the others, more disturbing than the others, notoriously so. And also, it was only broadcast 2 times to cable because it was so unsettling.
Really?
And the second time it was broadcast was on Halloween because that was the most requested episode. They played it as a special on Halloween. So I'm sure you guys already know what it is now that I've kind of given these hints. And It's spooky. So that's what I've been kind of working on. And also, again, I've been playing Quest for Glory, which I can't play other games when I play Quest for Glory. I'm like all in.
You just want to think about and play more Quest for Glory.
Yeah, because there's just so much to do. It's like multiple games within a game. You're doing so many quests. It's in the same vein as like Stardew. I'm doing quests for everyone, so I don't want to play another game. I got games within this game. What about you? Have you played anything? Have you played anything spooky that you could talk about?
I haven't really played anything spooky. The games that I've played this past week, unfortunately, are not spooky.
Can we make them spooky?
Okay, the first one's about death.
Okay.
A little bit.
Spooky.
Okay, so I played a game. Oh, wait. Okay, one of them is spooky.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, I'll start with the game that I was going to talk about.
That's not spooky.
That's not spooky, but it is about death.
Oh my god.
It's by the guy it's by Fabio Guglieri.
Okay.
He's the guy who made The Will of Arthur Flabbington.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which I think is on our. I think it's on our. Neither of us have played it. It's on our adventure game, our list of adventure games.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Ranking list. Anyway, but he released a game called Eulogy for Nonno.
Okay.
And it is free. It's short.
Cool.
It's a point and click game. Well, it's one of those pay what you want. So, I'd suggest throwing him a couple dollars.
Sure.
But it is a pay what you want game made for some short adventure game challenge, the Adventure Game Challenge 2025.
Cool.
And you play a flower delivery guy who shows up, who's delivering bereavement flowers to some house, right? And you show up, and the person at the door the person who answers the door is an Italian guy in a really nice suit with slick back black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately recognizes you, or thinks he does, as his long lost cousin, who left the, quote, family business, and they haven't seen him for years.
Okay.
So if you're picking up the implications here, it's heavily implied immediately that this is a mafia family.
Yeah, it's a mob family.
Mm-hmm. So you feel too intimidated to say no. No, that's not me. Well, you kind of say no, that's not me at the beginning, and the guy thinks you're joking with him, and you find you're too intimidated to sort of insist. So he brings you into the house, and everybody takes you to be this long lost cousin. And he's like, "I'm so glad you showed up for our Nonno, Vinny."
Yeah.
Or Vinny's the guy. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you showed up for Nonno's wake. And we think it would be just great. We think it would mean a lot to everybody if you gave a eulogy.
Can I make a guess on how this game plays?
Sure.
I'm going to suspect that the way this plays is that since you're not actually part of the family, you have to get to know them now. And you say yes to doing the eulogy. And now you have to learn what to say. Yep. Yes.
He gives you a template of a eulogy, and you have to fill in all the details.
Yeah. So you have to ask, I'm just making this up, but you have to ask family members for trivia maybe on who they were.
There's all sorts of things in the house like that. If you do it wrong, they will instantly know you're not the guy.
Oh, okay. Do they kill you?
Well, it just sort of fades to black.
Oh,
so the implication is they kill you.
Yeah.
There's some twists in this game, so I don't want to give anything away, but it is a very funny, cute little game.
Yeah.
It's called Eulogy for Nonno. You can find it on itch at Goo Games, GU Games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he pronounces it, but you can find it there.
Nice.
And it's a cute little game. Eulogy for Nonno. Go check it
awesome.
out. The second game I played is the game that released during our last episode. Remember that?
No. What released?
While we were recording our last episode, Dad's Monster House House 2 Metal came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Like during our recording, I got like the Steam email and I played it, and it's cute. It's cool. It is spooky.
It looks spooky. Yeah, it's got that spooky vibe. I love that vibe.
It's Dad's Monster House, like all the Cotton games. They all have this like adorableness to them, and it's clear that Dad's Monster House is sort of like Edward Gorey inspired, right? Like unlike other Cotton games, this one has a lot of cross hatching and a lot of pencil work, and it's mostly black and white.
Yeah.
And it's cute. Your character gets grabbed by a big monster hand from his house and dropped into this mansion in the middle of nowhere. And much like the first game, much like all Cotton games, there's a lot of, contained, like self-contained puzzles, mini games, if you will, scattered around the house, logic puzzles. And at the same time, you have a diary and you're collecting. So while you're collecting inventory items and, fetch questing them back and forth to different people, there's also, or using them to solve a puzzle, you're also finding pills, and there's a spider that's latched onto your journal. And when you feed him a pill, he runs away, and then you can read the next couple pages of the journal.
Okay. Until
you come across the spider again, and then he's latched onto your journal and can't go any further. This is exactly how Dad's Monster House 1 was.
Okay.
And it's cute. Like, there's all these weird, spooky sounds, like the floorboards creaking or like wind tearing through the house, and your little character shivers in fear and looks left and right all the time, and it's very cute like that. But there's something, like a lot of the Cotton games, there's something a little deeper going on here.
Sure.
Throughout the mansion, you find a bunch of pictures of people who are pioneers in AI and virtual reality and altered reality. It weaves its way into sort of the emotional, symbolic narrative of the game. There's something a little deeper going on that you find out through reading the diary and then through cutscenes. And something a little more emotional about your relationship to your father. It's like a Cotton game. It's good. It's got the same sort of puzzles as all other Cotton games have. It's just a fun thing to sort of play through and think through. As far as the spookiness, there's the stuff we've already said.
Yeah.
But it's also a house just full of monsters, and the monsters aren't particularly scary.
Right. And like kind of I said, it doesn't have to be scary to be spooky.
Yeah.
This definitely has a spooky aesthetic that spooky people would enjoy. The black and white, the cross-hatched look,
right.
Very, very simplified Edward Gorey.
But it's not going to scare you, yeah.
It's not going to scare you, but like, again, it doesn't need to be scary to be spooky. Spooky is a vibe.
Yeah.
Spooky is a way of life.
So you find a rocket ship and you realize your goal is probably to take off in this rocket ship, right?
Yeah.
This is a theme in so many of these Cotton games is taking off in a rocket ship.
I love a good consistent theme.
Every time you sort of solve everything having to do with a character, which is somewhere between like 1 and 3 puzzles, right? 1 to 3 things that they need.
Yeah.
They die a violent death, and then they appear as stuffed animals in the rocket ship. And
that's cute.
There's a reason that they do that you will find out much later.
That's awesome. I really do like the aesthetic of this game.
Yeah, again, its aesthetic is very similar. Like, it's a very, very similar art style in like its cartooniness. It's big eyes, big bold lines. A lot of
reminds me of Prim, just a little bit. Just this, I get a similar vibe. That kind of black and white, big-eyed, cartoony. This one is less detailed, I'll say.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's got a similar look to all the like Isoland games and the Mr. Pumpkin games, all the other Cotton Game games. It's if you've played, I hate to say if you played one, you've played them all, because that's not true. I think they're all different from each other. Yeah. But they're all so similar in aesthetics. The difference between like Isoland and Dad's Monster House, besides having a character on screen, is again this black and white and this sort of, we say Edward Gorey inspired. It doesn't look anything like Edward Gorey. No. It's just more of a vibe. Yes. You know what I mean? It's more of like a little gothy, a little spooky, black and white. Yeah. And there were some puzzles in this game that actually were kind of a little more diegetic than I'm used to from these games. There was one puzzle where you sort of have to, like, a lot of these games, the solution to puzzles are like written on walls, right? Like, you'll come across a thing where you need to follow a certain pattern, and that pattern is written on the wall in a different room. And so you just have to kind of copy the pattern. And this game has a good note-taking system where you have 4 screens of overlays and a marker. And you can open the overlays and just draw right on the screen and then close the overlay. So you can be in one room that has a pattern and you can just trace the pattern. Nice. Close the overlay, go to where you need to use it, open the overlay again, and the pattern's right there for you. Nice. That is nice. Yes. We need more mechanics like that in adventure games. So that's other thing that's nice about it. It's got a map that you could fast travel throughout. Thank fucking God. I think all adventure games need that at this point. Right. Unless there's a very specific reason not to. It's yes. And we'll be, I think, maybe touching on that when we talk about Quest for Glory, because there is quite an expansive map, and we'll be talking about the mechanic of that map. Well, on that tip. Oh, also, hey, I'm still playing Hollow Knight Silksong. I just got to Act 2. Oh, shit, nice. It is just a magical game. It's just a magical game. You're just playing it, and I get to certain areas, or I see a certain cutscene, or something opens up in a way that I'm just like, this game is just... wow. That's great. I need a game like that. Maybe I'll find a new game like that soon. Well, you mentioned Quest for Glory again. I did. Because I'm always talking. This is what we talk about off recording. Basically all the time. Rose is going on about Quest for Glory again. So, what if you played... Leshy Caterino. And we come back and we talk about Quest for Glory 4 Shadows of Darkness. Hey, everybody! Welcome back to save your game. I'm losing it already. Save your game. Save your game. No, mine's Scottish. Mine's become Scottish. Welcome back to Save Your Game. I'm one of your co-hosts, the malevolent Mad Ocamp, and with me is the putrescent pushing up roses. That's definitely me. Yeah, putrescent was bad. I couldn't what's a quick P word that means evil.
That means evil. Oh, man.
Or even just spooky. Like, what's a spooky word? Putrescent's a spooky word, but it also just means gross.
I mean, I was going to say just shorter. It would be putrid, but that's not great either. The pearlescent.
What's pulchritudinous mean?
Beautiful.
Right? Yeah.
Pulchritudinous, right?
Yeah, but it sounds a little
I'll take it.
But it sounds a little like crypt because it's kind of got crypt in it.
Right, I'll take it.
Pulchritudinous.
Right, that does
pushing up
that
roses.
Means, right? Wait, we should look this up. Okay.
I looked it up.
It'd be awful if it meant something just like terrible.
What are we talking about today? Roses?
We are talking about the classic and very well loved within this franchise, Quest for Glory 4 Shadows of Darkness, which is the spooky entry into the franchise.
Let me set the scene real quick, and then you want to then tell them, and then you tell them the overview of this game.
Sure.
Because Quest for Glory it's by Laurie and Corey Cole. It was a Sierra series. It was the first one was called Hero Quest, but they got sued by Milton Bradley.
It was stupid,
and they had to change them. They had to change it to Quest for Glory, which I think is a better name than Hero Quest, to be honest.
It is a better name.
And they are these RPG point and click adventure game. Well, I guess they originally had text parser, but these classic adventure game, classic RPG hybrids, where you are solving traditional point and click style puzzles.
Yeah.
They are also based around like skills and stats you have.
Right.
And so, you can be a fighter, you can be a wizard, or you can be a thief, and each path is slightly different, has different solutions to its major puzzles. A lot of the smaller puzzles are
different
the same.
Character interactions too, because if you play a thief, you're gonna run into other thieves that you probably wouldn't normally talk to if you are a different class. Yeah.
And if you're a fighter, you can become a fourth type of character called a paladin, but you have to do that by following certain paths in game, and then you get special magical powers that only paladins get, and in pretty much every game you get special story beats and options that only paladins get.
Yeah.
So
you cannot be a thief and a paladin in these early iterations of I think we kind of talked about this before, and we're not going to go into it. I think there's a way in 5 you can be a paladin and a thief because of the import system that they had. But yes, paladin in general is you're being an honest, moral type. If you're a thief, you're probably, lock picking.
Yeah. So the game was originally conceived of as 4 games. So the series was conceived of as 4 games, and the first was supposed to be like this Germanic medieval story.
Yeah.
It was very heady. It was like excuse me. Each of the 4 games was based around a cardinal direction, an element, a season, and a mythological canon, right?
Yeah.
So the first game was North, Earth, Spring, and Germanic mythology. So a lot of the things you encountered in that game were
you're in the town of Spielberg. If that's one of your friends is named Elsa, like that's think about it like almost like a Germanic fairy tale. That's kind of like what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, the first one is very fairy tale related. Yes. I think there's it's not that dissimilar from King's Quest in that way. Like the first one has a lot of fairy tale, fable, Germanic mythology.
Yeah,
I think there's a unicorn. There's like whatever. Probably I can't remember. It's been a while, but I'm guessing gnomes and elves and like all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where the second one, South, Fire, Summer, and Middle Eastern mythology.
Right.
It's called Trial by Fire and it takes place in. Do you remember the name of that?
Yeah, Rasir.
It takes place in Rasir, and it's like sort of this Arabian setting, and there's
that's very Aladdin,
right, there's like magic carpets and
yeah,
there's genies and all that all that sort of Arabian mythology. Then the third game was supposed to be Shadows of Darkness,
right,
which is supposed to be based in the East, Slavic mythology,
mm-hmm.
and central elements air, seasons fall. But when they got around to Shadows of Darkness, they felt like there were some plot gaps,
mm-hmm.
and that it was too jarring of a transition. And also, I read this somewhere. I haven't been able to find it before, like in the preparation for this episode, but I read somewhere that they had ideas for the game that they just didn't have the technology to create yet.
Sure.
So there's a third game that kind of got jammed in there that is like African mythology.
Yes. And I really hate that game. That map, I'm traumatized. Like the backtracking in that game was not good. And I just didn't like that game. Yeah. I didn't like the third one.
I think a lot of this is culturally insensitive. I think the third one might be the worst.
I think it might be the worst
in terms of that. It's not utterly horrible, right? Like you're not playing it.
It's trying.
It's trying. Yeah,
it tried. I think we were kind of discussing this a little bit off recording, and that there was a time, especially in the 90s, and especially in video games, to be honest, where people were trying to be anti-racist, anti-discriminatory by showcasing culture. The problem is we didn't really know how to do that yet. Keep in mind, these are times before you're researching things very heavily on the internet, or you're talking to social groups on the internet, and you're able to get that information. So the most we can say is like, it tried. I see what it's doing. I see what it's trying. It's not the best try.
It's also like an African story with very few Black people in it.
Right.
And with, at times, and Egypt is in Africa.
Yes.
But they conflate the two in a way that it's like sub-Saharan and Northern Africa sort of meshed together in an uncomfortable way.
Sure. Sure.
And there's also like some South American stuff jammed in there that feels awkward. And again, for an African setting with a limited number of Black characters, 2 of them are Sanford and Son.
Yes, that's correct. It's very strange. And it is interesting that Laurie and Corey Cole, they have a very specific type of humor. It's very goofy. It's very referential. Mm-hmm. Even in 4, there are characters in this game that are definitely referencing pop culture characters.
Yes.
So are the voices and things like that.
Old shit.
Yeah,
old pop culture shit that I don't even. I'm like, this sounds familiar to me, but mostly because Bugs Bunny did these voices, not because I know who these people actually.
I mean, I like it because I'm 80.
But yeah, maybe you can teach me.
No, I like old references and stuff like that. But if I can piggyback a little bit off of what you're saying, they made this game 3 in between. They did it because you're saying that it was too jarring, but to me, the more jarring thing was to have this game in between 2 games that are linked. So your time in Rasir is linked to Shadows of Darkness. It's kind of a continuation of what happened in Rasir. So to me, it's jarring to wake up as your character in Shadows of Darkness from the previous game that you were just in that had nothing to do with Rasir. So I don't know if I liked it. I think it would have been better without that third game in there and just continued it on.
And in Tarna is the place that you live in, or the place that you are
being a hero.
Yeah, in the third game, and there's no mention of your time in Tarna until Quest for Glory 5. Like, there's almost no mention of it at all in 4.
I think there's like a little bit in 4, like, but it's very brief. It's more like, you tell so and so about Tarna.
Yes,
and that's it. You know, but really, Shadows of Darkness is meant to be, here's what happened after what happened in Quest for Glory 2.
Right. And before you get into describing 4, I'll just say 3 wraps up with you are celebrating your victories in Tarna, and you start convulsing and sparkling, and then they say, somebody's like, "This is dark magic," and then you see the enemy, the bad guy from Quest for Glory 2, Adavis,
yeah.
Adavis. You see him looking at you through like a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And then, Roses, tell me about the worst named game in the series, Shadows of Darkness.
Well, after convulsing in this bubbly thing in 3, you wake up, you the hero. You're always playing the same guy, just by the way. You are the hero. You can name him if you really want to. I always name my hero Rico. I don't know why. That's just his name.
It always has to be a dude, by the way.
Well, yeah.
And mine was a thief in this playthrough. Mine was a thief named Piss Puppy.
Oh, good old Piss Puppy, the hero.
Piss Puppy.
You know, that hero.
Piss Puppy, the hero of Silmaria.
Yep. Wonderful. So yeah, you wake up in this completely different setting. I'm talking about, you look like you woke up in an HR Giger design. There are kind of these squelchy doors everywhere. There's bones everywhere. There's skeletons everywhere, and a little rib cage. And you're just in a place of darkness, essentially. You're also greeted by the narration of John Rhys Davies. He is the narrator for this game, is fully voiced. And it's a good narration. It's one of the better narrations that came out of this era of adventure games. It's
great. There's a story about this in Sean Mills's book about how a normal video game script is whatever it was. I don't remember the numbers, but say a normal video game script is 80 pages and they handed him a 200-page script, and they had very little time to get it done. Yeah. They had booked apparently a voiceover session's about 4 hours, and for a standard video game, at the time, it was like you booked 2 sessions. So that 8 hours, and they handed him this script, and he was like, "We are not going to get this done in 8 hours." They had to like work through an entire weekend, and he was like, "I am not going to be able to give you multiple takes on this. I'm just going to go." And so almost all of this game is first take. Yeah.
And you will notice this game was notoriously buggy when it came out. It still is today, just in the way that clearly there have been text box that were written wrong. It goes off script. Sometimes the animations pause. Sometimes the voice acting doesn't go at all. Sometimes characters will there's this part where you go into a house to loot it if you're playing the thief, which I always do. And part of playing a thief across all the Quest for Glories is you're going to need to break into people's houses to get money. Money's very important in these games. There's always a money system. There's a house I went into, and every time I went out the window to leave, the character sprang up.
Oh, I thought that was on purpose.
I don't know if it is or not. I just can't tell if that's on purpose or not.
Yeah.
Because I went back in there and then they're just back to sleep. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah, the same thing happened to me with that character. I had a bug, though, where there's a bush that's a monster,
Mm-hmm.
and you are supposed to throw rocks at the bush.
Yeah.
And knock one of its branches off, and then give him this is a Sierra adventure game, guys. You give him a rubber chicken, and it distracts him. It seems like he eats it. I don't know. And then you go pick up the branch.
Right. Because he'll sting you if you get close to him. Yeah.
Right. But also, there is a similar bush with the same kind of berries that you need behind him. So you can drop the rubber chicken. He goes to get it. You can go behind him, and you can click on the bush of berries, and the narrator says, you strip the berries and put them in a pocket on your backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's no berries in your backpack.
Oh, no. That's weird.
Keep clicking the bush over and over, and it'll keep saying it over and over, and there's no berries in your backpack.
Also, the music is not leveled.
Oh, that gets very loud sometimes.
It's insane. Like it's just absolutely jarring, especially in and we'll talk about the setting in a little bit, but there's a mad scientist setting where, there's like an organ playing, like mad scientist organ music. It drowns them out. It drowns out the characters. It's absolutely crazy. And unfortunately, in this kind of older game, there's only a volume control for music. It is not separate like we have today, like dialogue and music, sound effects or music. It's all in one track. So that, the game can be a little buggy, a little annoying. Luckily, the one released, at least on Steam, has an auto save option, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
But it has limited save slots still.
It does, yeah.
Which is weird.
It's still a Sierra adventure game, I guess, but...
The other thing about the bugginess is they were trying to get it out for this game was released
Christmas?
in 93. They were trying to get it out for the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And the Coles repeatedly told like management, this is not ready.
Yeah.
And they were like, you have to get it out. Sorry, you have to get it out. And so they entered crunch time. They knew that it was too buggy to release, and they released it anyway.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
But then later they released it on CD-ROM with a lot of the bugs fixed, as you're saying, not all of them. Yeah. And that was the release that had voice acting.
Yeah. It's so let's get back into
Go ahead.
So you wake up in this weird squelchy kind of place of darkness, this H.R. Giger setting, and you puzzle your way out of it, and you meet upon exiting this weird cave, you meet a woman named Katrina.
Bae.
And
Katrina's bae.
She's bae. Katrina's like the goth. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be Katrina. That was my goal as a little girl. So you meet Katrina, and you learn that you are in the land of Mordavia, which is kind of a take on Transylvania or Romania. It's that, like, I think you said that's Slavic type. Yeah. But yeah, it's called Mordavia, and it's a very dangerous place. She tells you, be careful, don't go out at night. I'm a thief, I'm going to go out at night, and you have to. That's silly. I don't know why the game is like, don't do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And she says we'll meet again later. She's this very mysterious type. She's this very sexy woman with a Slavic accent and in a cloak, and she's just great.
She's if you've played Skyrim, if you played the Dawn Guard DLC for Skyrim, she's almost exactly like Serana.
I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it. So at this point now, you're in the town of Mordavia. You're in this world now. At least you're in the world of Mordavia. The first thing I always do is I try to, you're plopped onto this map, which is fairly expansive, and there are enemies on it. That's kind of the action-y RPG element, is you can be attacked. As a thief, I usually don't fight. You can fight them and loot things and collect things and get strength that way. But I, as a As a thief, you know what I do? I just sneak everywhere. Everywhere.
And just don't fight anyone?
Correct.
Okay.
So you get to this town. It's the town of Mordavia. You're greeted. Just to kind of set the scene, it looks like this very there's like this brownstone brick wall there. Everything is very earthy toned. There are jack-o'-lanterns out because it is, like we said, it is fall. There's a scarecrow and a little corn husks. And you go in and you're greeted by the Burgomeister, who is very salty and very suspicious of you because Mordavia has been a very dangerous, dark place for a long time. So he's like, where did you come from? We don't trust you, stranger. And by the way, Burgomeister always reminds me of the Burgomeister Meisterburger from Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Is it just because there's only 2 characters in all of fiction that refer to themselves as the Burgermeister?
Yeah.
And it's these 2?
It's so great. And so, that's kind of the first character you come across. And then you're kind of free to roam around. And kind of the way that I want to explain how Quest for Glory works, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you had mentioned it is more of an adventure RPG. So here's how this works. First of all, you are being timed. Your days are going by as you're doing stuff. It takes, what do you think? It takes around 13 days to complete, maybe more?
Yeah. Yes. And
okay.
the days can feel, if you say are following a walkthrough or you know what you're doing, it can feel the days feel very long, too long. Yeah. If you are if you're exploring, if you're not using a walkthrough, if you've never played it before and you are just trying to figure things out as you go, the days feel so short.
Yes.
Wildly way too short.
The time constraint is tough because this is definitely a type of game. It's one of the things, by the way, that I love about Quest for Glory is that certain things happen on certain days. You meet certain characters at certain times. There's a day to night mechanic, so you can explore during the day, you can explore during the night, and different things happen depending on whether it's dark or light outside.
It does mean you can miss things, though.
Yes, absolutely. That's just the nature of the Quest for Glory games. Is upon a first playthrough, you're probably not going to see hardly anything. Let's be honest.
Right.
I think it does take some practice to really play these games. But again, it's also one of the things I love about these games. A few things that are, across the board is there's always an inn that you can stay at. Resting is an important part because there's an action element to this game. There's always an inn. There's always free food at that inn, which is kind of cool.
Well, you say free, you do have to pay.
Well, you pay room and board. Yeah.
You pay room and board, and but a meal is included.
Yeah.
You do have to sleep, and you do have to eat.
You do. These are things you have to do. Even sometimes you have to rest because you can, even if you're not sleepy, you can actually tire out your muscles.
You have health and energy meter. Yes. And your energy meter goes down when you do anything that involves a skill. Right. If you're just solving a puzzle or whatever, generally your energy meter's fine.
Yeah,
but if you use a skill, and I should say this is very D&D based. This is clearly inspired by D&D, and you have a character sheet. And your character sheet has, the standard strength, intelligence, agility, constitution, but constitution's called vitality. Then there's luck, and then there's magic.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of skills like, I'm not going to go through all of them.
Yeah, but for me, for the thief, lockpicking. Locking is a skill that you might want to practice at.
Weapon use, throwing, climbing.
Climbing is a big one, yeah.
And then you have honor.
Which I'm a thief. I don't care about that, really.
which is honor. You have communication, too. So honor is... Communication's important for having certain dialogue options. It doesn't change very much, to be honest. But it's mostly about getting those Sierra points.
Yes.
This is also a game that there's a point system.
There's always a point system. It's the 90s.
But honor is important for getting certain endings.
Sure. I think especially if you're trying to be a paladin, right?
It is very important for being a paladin. You can't be a paladin if your honor goes below a certain thing. There are certain endings, I think, in each game. Your ending's worse if your honor's lower. Isn't that true?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think it also depends on how many like quests you do and how many people you help.
Yes,
and that I think that's also part of kind of the D&D, aspect of it. But yeah, there's a thieves guild you can find if you are a thief. There's usually an adventurers guild. In this game, the adventurers guild you can find, and you can like work out and upgrade your stats. Like you can use the quote. It's a I don't know. It's a strength machine, a strength training machine, and you can get stronger that way.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for just a second. This game, you can increase and improve your skills, and it is all done by repetition. It is all done by using those skills. So
it's unfortunate because you kind of want to feel like it's more fluid than that. Like you're, I don't know, but yeah, absolutely. The way I upgraded my lockpicking skill was to find a lock that was too hard and just click it over and over and over and watch the point go up. And unfortunately, you do that for all of them.
Exactly. So your stamina drains and then you go to sleep and then come
rest,
back either after you rest or the next day. You just come back and you do it again and you're just clicking the same thing over and over. If you want your throwing skills to get better, you pick up 1,000 rocks and you throw them. Any direction, at anything, doesn't matter. You just throw them. Yeah. You want to your climbing skill to get better. You find a climbable surface and you click it over and over and over. Yep. And things like weapon use and parry and dodge and stuff like that. Like those, you can only improve by just fighting characters. There's not experience points. Right. There's just increasing these skills. And there are things that are necessary for the game that require certain stat levels. So, for example, the house that you break into that you were talking about earlier, Roses, I spent, I think, 3 days climbing into that window every time it turned to night, clicking on that chest over and over and over and over and over until I was exhausted, clicking it over and over and over and over. And then when it was either started like close to morning or you can also, if your stamina's gone, you can keep doing a skill and it takes away from your health.
Right.
So when my health was down, like then I just go to sleep, do as much as I could the next day. And then it's nighttime again. I'm going and I'm clicking on that chest another 700 times.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate that it's not more fluidly placed within the game, within the gameplay. But this is how the Quest for Glories are across the board. So it's not a perfect like RPG game. I love the idea of having a character sheet and like maxing out certain skills. Again, I played as Thief, so I wanted good lock picking and stealth and things like that.
No, sorry. You tell I just realized a very important thing we left out, but you keep telling me what you're saying, or do you want me to?
Oh no, I was just reiterating that I like the idea of the character sheet, but again, because it's just not very, it's just clunkily put in. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you need to climb, you're doing 200 backflips in a row on screen to get it there.
Yeah, right, exactly. You were also so we left out a big thing, and this was a huge appeal and this is one of the sort of revolutionary things about this game. This is one of the things this game is remembered most fondly for. And one of the most fun things about this game is you can carry your characters from game to game.
Yes.
So every game you can reach up to the multiple of 100 that number of game is in each skill. So you can get your skills up to 100 in the first game. You can get them up to 200 in the second game, 300 in the third game, 400 for the game, 500 in the fifth game, right?
Yeah.
So depending on how much you grinded in the previous game is going to affect how much you have to grind in the current game.
Yeah.
And you are always at a disadvantage if you didn't carry your character over.
Yes.
So in this scenario, because, okay, I'll explain. So in this scenario, I started a new character for playing this time.
Yeah.
I've played all these games before, I should say that.
Yeah.
And in this playthrough of 4, I had to make a new character specifically for this game, and man, I had to grind my skills for so long. Like, that's one of the reasons I had to grind that lockpicking skill for so long, is because like, if I'd started at 200, I probably could have got it done that first night.
Right.
But again, that's the benefit of carrying over your characters. If you don't, it assumes that it doesn't assume that you would be at the absolute top of your of your skill levels. So when the first time I played all of these through, beginning to end, I carried over the same character, and basically I started each game with an advantage. And if you're any kind of magic user, you start with an even bigger advantage because you have spells that you level up by casting over and over.
Right.
And there's certain spells that you can only get in certain games.
Yeah.
None of the ones that are absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
But ones that make things easier or just a little more fun.
Yeah.
So
my very favorite way to play this game is to choose the thief class.
Okay.
And give them magic. I think that's a really fun way to play, because as a thief, you don't necessarily have the strength of like a fighter would have. Right. So I just give my thief magic. If I did want to fight, I have magic to do it. It just opens my options up a little bit. So I mean, and that's kind of the mechanic of this game.
That also is dependent, right? Because you can't give your thief magic in every, like in 4, your thief can't learn any spells.
Yes, it can. I gave my thief magic, and I can learn spells. You have an allotted amount of stats that you can give.
Oh, if you put points into magic,
you have to learn it. Yeah, I give my thief magic.
I see what you're saying.
The ability to learn it, and then you can learn it. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yep. So that makes sense. But there are also, every game has a couple ways to break character classes in certain ways like that. So again, you are just at such a greater advantage if you play from the first game forward. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be grinding and clicking
and missing stuff, right? And there's stuff that you miss. Like, there's even inventory items that carry from game to game, and if you don't have that inventory, I'll say this, there are things programs you can download that build a character for you to import.
Of course.
Into each game. And with that, there are checklists of like, did you romance this character? Did you complete this quest? Did you whatever? And then there'll be references to you doing those things. Yeah. In the next game. Just to, it was to make the thing seem like it had continuity. But again, when you use these programs, you could just click them like a checkbox. But it's more rewarding if you do it earnestly, obviously.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I don't think there's certain remakes of these games that are better than the originals. Yeah. And so if you want to play the best versions of each of these games, and also I think the import on 5 is broken.
Right, because it was such a different technology. But on 5, they actually give you a Paladin import that you can just do right away to make up for that.
Right, because generally you can't have a Paladin
Right.
You unless you have built them over multiple games.
Right.
So yeah, if you want to do the full thing now, you have to use one of those character generator things, and you can just, copy the stats of your last character exactly if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So those are the mechanics, and it sounds like a lot because there is a lot going on in these games, but it's made the world building of this game beautiful and intriguing because characters move around, things change, people have different dialogue depending on what day. Like these are characters that they have their kind of daily lives. You meet, for example, you meet a mad scientist, and he's busy working on, resurrecting human tissue, making a Frankenstein monster.
Making a Frankenstein, yeah. A Frankenstein lady, and then when he does make her, he's like, I might be unavailable for a few days, and it's gross.
Yeah, he's definitely fucking that monster.
It's a fucking Stein.
Yeah. It's weird. But it's just so interesting that you can go to these places and get different updates almost every day, almost different dialogue, different updates, different quests to be doing. And those quests that you can do, those are updated daily too. These are typically not adventure quests that you can do in like a day. For example, there's a ghost in the forest that you run into sometimes, and she's lost. And that's not exactly a quest that you can beat in a day. You kind of need to figure out. I mean, maybe you can. You understand what I'm trying to say, though, right? Like these are like ongoing quests that might take a few days. Yeah,
you're working on multiple quests at all times. There's some things that can only be done in the day, and there's some things that can only be done in the night. There's some things that take multiple days. There's unless. Because the game's buggy every now and then, you'll just like luck into it. There's a one of the main quests you have to, in this game, you have to save a little girl from vampires, basically.
Tanya.
Yeah. And you're supposed to meet like a friendly little domovoi. There's a type of like
I think it's a Russian
it's like a house troll.
Yeah,
it's like a house. It's like a little house monster.
They kind of bring you good luck.
Brings good luck.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you think about like the elves in the story of the cobbler. What's the name? The shoemaker, and the elves help him make his shoes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Culturally is like this idea of these monsters, but they bring you good fortune.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to talk to him, and he is like, I'm not ready to open up to you.
Yeah.
Come talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you come and talk to him tomorrow, and he tells you he needs help with something. And then you go help him, you come back to him the next night, and then he gives you like a hint about this thing, right? Because I just some glitch of the timing, I did all of this in one night.
Holy cow, that's impressive, because I know what you were doing, and that's interesting.
Yeah, it all happened in one night, and like
it was
like
if you time it right.
Come talk to me tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then I went and rested for an hour and talked to him again, and he acted like it was the following night, and then he gave me the quest, and because it was still nighttime,
you were able to do it.
I went and did the quest, went back to my room, went to sleep. He woke me up as if it was a brand new night.
Oh wow.
So it was just it just kind of kept it was again, it was just like a series of lucky glitches.
That is lucky, because another thing kind of making it a little more challenging is it's not just a day-night mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain things that you can only see, like let's say in the early evening.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not just here's the daytime, here's the nighttime. Nope, we have dusk, we have sunrise. Like,
yeah.
So the Domovoy, I think, is one of those characters that it's pretty specific
Midnight.
on when you can. Yeah, it's very specific on when you can actually see him
Mm-hmm.
and get his quests and get his dialogue.
Yeah, again, I think it was literally just a glitch, and and again, he's supposed to. Oh, you know what? It happened to be the night that you are woken up by the mother, Tanya's mother, crying. That's
Mm-hmm.
why. That's why it happened. So I went.
That is
back,
why. Yes.
I went. So I met the Domovoy. He said he'll talk to me another night. I went to sleep, and I was woken up by the woman crying.
Mm-hmm.
Went downstairs and was able to talk to the Domovoy again as if it was a brand new night.
Crazy.
Then I ran over, and again, it's still, the game, I guess, must have still just assumed, like, it was still midnight.
Yeah.
Time hadn't passed because both the triggers for all of these things are supposed to, like, occur at midnight.
Yeah.
So it just kind of kept resetting my clock, I guess. And then I went to complete his quest, which was pretty quick because I had everything I needed, and came back, went to sleep, and again, he's programmed to wake you up the night that you go to sleep after you complete that quest, which is supposed to take you at least a day because it doesn't expect you to have all the things you need.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, I'm
lucky.
You very deep into it, but it was just like a weird thing that happened. That's like, it was like really weird that it just all happened immediately.
I like to talk about like kind of what does make this game spookier than the others. Kind of what are we dealing with here? Because again, each game has specific things.
Yeah.
It follows almost like a theme, right? It has its own character. So this one, being in this land of Mordavia, there is the rumor that there are vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously I'm not, precious about spoilers in the classic games, so we can just kind of talk about it. Since we already even alluded, Atavis plays a role in this game. Mm-hmm. It's also, I don't know if I'm sure you did notice, it's also got a very Cthulhu-esque theme going on with, it's about getting power from the dark, somebody called the Dark One, which alluded is a god of some kind, or just a very all-powerful being. And the characters that want this power are vampire characters, undead vampire characters.
Right.
And then the rest of Mordavia is just like full of weirdos and monsters, and because it takes place in fall, it looks like Halloween. It's so nice.
There's a graveyard that's a big part of it.
That's a huge part of it, yeah.
One of the things about these Quest for Glory games is that they are meant to be these big, sprawling, beautiful worlds that you're traveling in, and usually they are lush and green. Mm-hmm. This game has that, but it's a lot of it is very dark and like fall themed, right?
Yeah.
And people talk about how winter's coming. There's a lot of, there's like, again, some major stuff happens in a graveyard. You start the game in this, like you said, this Cthulhu kind of like weird, like you're in the skeleton of some ancient creature or something. Is what it feels like.
It looks ancient. It looks like it's that Cthulhu-esque ancient god type of thing. Yeah.
And there's a bunch of, like the Slavic folktales are all kind of dark.
Yeah, a lot of them are. And if they're not dark, they're at least in that spooky vein. Even the Domovoy, though helpful, it isn't a happy-go-lucky creature or anything.
He's sad. Yeah,
it's of a more serious nature. Baba Yaga is back, by the way. Baba Yaga
was in one of the early games.
The first one, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
She was in the first one, and now she's extremely punny. Like, it's just over and over and over again.
Yeah, we didn't say that. The Coles, they just write in puns.
I do like, to the game's credit, I do think it is smartly written. I do
Right.
think it's clever and it's written cleverly in this writerly way. That being said, it's very dialogue heavy.
And again, if you don't like puns,
Yeah.
you're going to be annoyed.
Yes. But I
Very, very
do
punny.
think it's smart, and I do think it's not like laugh out loud funny, but it's like, oh, that's clever. That's amusing. Like, I'm amused and entertained by this dialogue. Although I will say some of the voice acting is a little obnoxious. Just a little bit.
Like, so yeah, okay, so there's like townsfolk.
Oh god.
There's a trio of townsfolk, and they are all based on some comedy celebrities of the past. Do you know who these people are based on?
Rodney Dangerfield, I think, is one of them.
Okay.
I think Jack Nicholson is one of them, and I'm not sure on the other.
I don't think it's Jack. I think it's somebody. I think it's somebody older than that.
Okay, it's possible. And I know in the Thieves Guild, you run into Ugart again, who again, he is from Rasir, and he is based on a celebrity, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it. I'm just totally blanking. Somebody's gonna get it. But that character is based on a celebrity down to the voice. But yeah, the voices that they do are supposed to be those characters. So like, yeah, imagine Rodney Dangerfield just being a character.
Yeah. It's annoying. And
it's so weird because so much of the voice acting is okay. Like, narrated by John Rhys Davies, that sounds very nice. I like Katrina's voice acting
is great. There's some incredible voice acting, and you know, for what's being asked of them, I don't necessarily think the voice acting's bad. I think they're being asked to do
they're doing what they're being asked to do.
There's a lot of Slavic folk creatures in this game that you meet the Leshy.
I think it's pronounced Leashy.
Leashy? Okay.
I think so.
You meet the Leashy, which is known as in this game, like a kind of a cute little trickster guy who's in love with riddles and playing pranks. But
he's like a mischievous little forest spirit.
Yes. In traditional folklore, though, it is a like a forest god who abducts children.
Oh, good.
Then there's the Rusalka.
I love the Rusalka. Yeah.
This, if you don't know the myth here, it is like a spirit of usually of a murdered woman.
Yeah.
Who lives in a lake and seduces men to come close to her. Like, she usually appears as, again, like a beautiful nude woman, right? Yeah. Like that's what the Rusalka is in this game.
Yeah.
And then when the men get close, pulls them down and drowns them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this game, if you are a paladin, you can. There's a Rusalka. If you are a paladin, you can kind of like liberate her spirit.
Yes.
But if you are not a paladin, you can't do that. She's useful for a single quest.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I still gave her flowers.
I gave her flowers too.
I just want to say, I love the nonchalant nature of the Rusalka, because we ask her about like drowning the men, and she's just like, yeah, that's just my job as a Rusalka. It's just what I do. Yeah. I don't know why I do it. I'm lonely, and now I'm even more lonely because I drowned the men.
Yeah. There's also Baba Yaga. Is also obviously a scary Slavic. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, there's a hanging body outside her hut. Like, yeah. The hangman's tree, and then there's a group of Romani people. They call them gypsies in this game. They refer to it as specifically a gypsy camp.
Yes, and they are all werewolves.
Is that a type of lore? Am I just uncultured, or is that a type of lore that exists? Is that connection between werewolves and the Romani people?
This is something I don't know. I actually don't know the answer to that, but I do know that werewolves being accused of being a werewolf, like being accused of being a vampire, was a thing that was done to outsiders in a lot of like a lot of cultural outsiders were accused of these things, and the Romani people have been kind of perpetual cultural outsiders in Europe, and especially at this time. So there very well could be, like, it would make sense historically.
In this game, they do have the magical ability to be changelings, essentially, to change into a werewolf.
They specifically tell you, we are not werewolves. We change into wolves to hunt, but we are just changelings. We can change into all sorts of stuff.
And that's so interesting that a lot of the kind of the creatures that you come across in this game are very classic horror, classic Halloween, ideas of werewolves and vampires and witches. And things of that nature. Like everywhere, it's clear that in Mordavia, everybody is terrified that there could be vampires because there's garlic everywhere.
Yes, yeah. Even like every dish that the innkeeper makes you, the innkeeper's wife has garlic in it. The inn is just decorated in strands of garlic. There's like strands of garlic hanging from the ceiling of your room. It's very funny.
So there's even that kind of superstitious type of spooky Halloween thing, because superstition, I think, is always something you would find in Halloween themed anything, black cats, broken mirrors, stuff of that nature. But it does have that great vibe, these kind of classic creatures, and the fact that it does take place in autumn. The fact that there are ghosts in this game. There are ghosts and wraiths and things like that who can harm you. There's even the big haunted castle, Dracula's castle. You can kind of envision it like that.
It's a castle full of vampires too.
Yeah.
So I mean, and zombies come out of the ground at night. Like this game is, I think, meant to be the scary one.
And it's honestly, I was impressed when I replayed this, because it really does set the world of Mordavia. I ended up really liking these weirdo characters. And I think if you like just in general spooky things like me, it just kind of feels like home. It's like, this is in my realm of interest. And it's done well. It's done with all these things that I have a vested interest in, Slavic fairy tales and classic horror and creature feature and things of that nature. And I love it. This is a small detail, but I really like it. At night, the pumpkins outside the town turn into jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah, it's very cute.
When I first played through all these games, when I played through all 5 in a row, this was the game that really stuck out to me. And I liked them all. I know you really don't like 2 or 3. I like 2 better than 3, but I found some. It's not a matter of disliking the entire thing; it's more of a mechanic issue for me. Yeah, I enjoy all of them.
Yeah,
but this was the one that stuck out in my head after I played them all. This is I think maybe the most memorable of them.
It's very unique even in the franchise, because if you think about the other quote themes, they are somewhat kind of related to each other. It's just when you put a spooky theme to something, it changes the whole tone,
Yeah. That I also do want to say, another thing about the Cthulhu theme that is spread throughout this game is you do. In the town, there is a monastery that everybody is terrified of.
Yeah.
It belonged to. This is a Lovecraftian thing. It belonged to the Mad Monk.
See, I knew it had to be on purpose that some of the Cthulhu stuff was.
Yes. So in Lovecraftian lore, the Necronomicon was written by the Mad Monk Abdul al-Hazred.
That is so insane. That's the name of the Vizier in King's Quest VI.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, go on. That's weird.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it is. I'm sure they did that on purpose.
That's the most jarring thing I've ever heard.
But they often call him in a lot of the stories. He's just called the Mad Monk or the Mad Arab.
Sure.
So that is who is being referenced here in Mordavia too. Because, you go so you break into this monastery. There's all sorts of weird, spooky stuff all throughout it. Why do I steal the Blackbird statue, by the way?
It's a Thieves Guild thing. It's more prominent in Quest for Glory 5. Doing the Blackbird missions in 5 is more like you want to become chief thief.
Right. But you can't do that in this game. So you end up stealing stuff for basically no reason.
Well, you can sell it. You can get money.
You can?
I think so.
Oh,
Isn't that what the Thieves Guild is generally for? That's how I remember using the Thieves Guild, is selling things that I found to get extra money.
I think I tried to sell the treasure that I got from all the wraiths.
Okay.
It was like I couldn't figure out how to do it.
He also won't take the initial Blackbird because there's always an imposter Blackbird. It's Maltese Falcon type of a thing.
Gotcha.
Again, it's way more involved in Quest for Glory 5. It's a whole thing.
Yes, that I know. In trying to get the Blackbird, I remember just clicking it. Like this playthrough, clicking it over and over. This is one of those things where it was like click, 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 rest. Click, 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 rest. And it's just like watching him half climb up a wall and then climb back down and like not strong enough or whatever. But there's all sorts of, weird errata in the monastery, and then you can find your way to the basement, and he has experiments and evil things and notes on spells, and this is how you get what is the main thrust of this game. Well, there's two. First is there's a hill in the center of town in which a staff has been placed. You can find the story. It relates to the story of the town and the goddess Irana. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
I kind of am not remembering the story of Irana, and I think it's because the Quest for Glory games I've played the most don't really feature her. And when they do feature her, it's like you're already supposed to know what's going on. So like 5 is my most played. I know it's not a good game. I get it. I love that game. And Irana's place in that game is like you already are supposed to know. But I think the gist of it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, from just playing Quest for Glory, is that she was a healer / protector that was, I don't know how she was killed or captured, and now her staff, her like magical staff, is still like in this rock that's in the town of Mordavia. Is that sort of close?
There was a paladin named Piotr.
Oh, right, Piotr. Yes, go on.
Who she helped to fight this kind of Cthulhu god, Avuzal, the Dark One, who you are trying to stop his revival in this game as well. And this story played out once before with Piotr. So in her final battle with Avuzal, they both she banished him from this world, and then she banished herself to like a different, like another plane of reality. And then Piotr put her staff in the town center, like as a monument to her. Yeah. Like on the top of this hill. And then, so you are trying to, partly one of the things you're sort of doing is trying to revive Irana. Another thing that you're trying to do is stop Avuzal. In pursuit of that, however, you get mixed up with Katrina, this vampire woman. This is when you free the little girl who was kidnapped. This causes you to get mixed up with Katrina, and she uses you to gather together a bunch of rituals. Yeah. To free Avuzal. And then there's some plot stuff that I don't quite understand. There's some conflict between her and what's his name,
Adavis. Yeah.
Adavis.
Again, who was from Quest for Glory 2, the bad guy.
Yeah, there's some cross purposes between her and Adavis that I'm not entirely. I think it's just they're trying to each be the one who controls.
They each want to be the most powerful master. Yeah, and
right.
According to Katrina, she just wants everything. She is a vampire, so she just wants darkness all the time, everywhere. She doesn't want to be, endangered herself as a vampire. But I do love. I don't think it's fleshed out enough personally, but I do love that our character is definitely interested in Katrina. We don't know she's a vampire until the end. We just think she's kind of this mysterious, beautiful, intriguing woman who we meet up with sometimes in Mordavia. And I don't think her
wandering around. If you're wandering around the woods at night, you can sometimes find her just outside the town.
Yeah, outside the town. And later, she asks to meet you. So the implication is that she is actually also becoming attracted to you. I don't think there's enough dialogue and story to really believe that, but I like the idea of it.
Well, with a lot of this stuff, it's like we're bringing up a lot of things that you kind of have to in this game. And I think the fact that this game got so big and so complicated, and the fact that they had to rush it to print, I think there's some things that they started working on, some quests and some storylines that just never got finished.
Yeah. I think that's true. Yeah.
And so, you've said this game has a really fleshed out world. Like there's a lot in this world.
Yeah.
At the same time, a bit of it feels like there's a lot of space between all these elements. I think that space is because of certain things that were unfinished.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that. I don't know if you feel like
I do think there are some things that were rushed.
There's a lot of cool stuff, but it's also not like the most jam-packed world.
Right. It just feels so grand because of the way I think because of the way things are continually moving.
Yeah.
And because there is such an emphasis and detail to all of the spooky stuff. It really reads as almost like this kind of celebration of horror in a way, down to the details of the Cthulhu stuff and the vampiric storyline. But I do agree that there are things that are not fleshed out enough, that were maybe rushed and unfinished. And I do feel like the implication of this kind of relationship between you, the hero, and Katrina is just not fully realized, I guess. I wish it was.
So the first two games in the series are text parser.
Yes.
Though I think there is either a point and click version of Quest for Glory 2 or it's like a hybrid.
I think there is. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it had only been a few years that Sierra was doing point and click instead of text parser.
Yeah.
And you really feel that in this game too.
A little clunky, huh?
Well, clunky and pixel hunty, right? Because
it is.
The Coles were still designing like D&D, where you say, and where you would tell your DM, like, I look around the room and they tell you everything that's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's up to you to focus on details. Mm-hmm. And they're still designing this game in the same way. They want you to look at every room and read the full description of the room.
Yeah.
And so in the first two games, if it said there are, skeletons laying over on the left-hand side of the room, you would say, look at skeletons or search skeletons or something.
Right.
So, but in this, sometimes that just seems like part of the background and it feels very pixel hunty, right?
It really is. Yeah. It's so jarring to go from all these modern adventure games that are a little more accessible and easier to sort out to I boot this up. Everything on the screen looks the same. There's not really anything that stands out.
Yes.
The cursor doesn't change if I'm looking at a hotspot, and it's tough.
And this would have been fine. This was fine when it was text parser.
Yeah.
Because you're again going on descriptions. So if the thing that you need to pick up looks the exact same as the surface it's sitting on, that's fine because you are reading in the description. And you see, something sparkling on the desk, and so you say, check out, look at desk, look at sparkle, right?
Right.
But in this, that's not an element that's present. They just expect you to know where to click and know how to click. And I also wonder if that's what gets into some of the moon logic of this game, because where on earth are we supposed to learn that using a rubber chicken will lure a bush?
That was crazy. I didn't even do that, Matt. I didn't know you could do that. I let myself get stung instead because I don't know what to do with this bush. I don't know how to. Yeah, I just got stung. I didn't.
How on earth are we supposed to know that the ingredients of an elderberry pie are slime, bone meal, and elderberries, and then cooked by skeletons' eye beams?
Does the skull help you? The snarky.
I think maybe the skull does help you if you talk to him a bunch of times.
No, there's a lot. You're right. Beyond just the pixel hunting, some of these puzzles are tough. Right,
because I always bristle at these puzzles are hard.
Yeah.
Because that to me implies that there's a sense to them that you have to just really pay attention or think really hard to get. But some of these puzzles are just nonsensical.
Yeah, they're just nonsensical. Like King's Quest. Putting the cheese in the machine. That's exactly what it is. Why? Why are we giving this rubber chicken to a bush?
Yeah. And there's a bunch of stuff in this game that is like that I just don't. If I wasn't looking at a walkthrough, I don't know how I would possibly know.
Yeah.
This is what I'm expected to do.
Yeah.
Some of the really bizarre things in the game, there's hints towards, right? It'll you need to at some point feed garlic to a weird creature hanging above a mantelpiece. You can find that out by there's in the scientist's lab, there's a machine that traps monsters, and you can describe monsters to it with yes or no questions.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it'll give you hints about certain monsters that you face. So there's no reason to think feeding garlic to this thing would do anything, but there's a hint somewhere else in the game.
Yeah. And there are hints in the dialogue too. I feel like interrogating characters is such an important, whether you like their voices or not, man, you're gonna have to talk a lot to some of these characters, and they will give you hints and try to push you in the right direction.
Right. Yes, and that happens a lot. But again, there's stuff that maybe it's there and I didn't see it, but there's stuff in this game that I have no idea how any person would ever figure it out.
No, it's definitely that moon
stuff
logic.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah, just bizarre for the sake of being bizarre. Like I said, it's around that same time that King's Quest V was 91, but
how do you know to give candy to the
the Will-O-Wisps?
Will-O-Wisps.
I don't know, but there's another thing that happens with the Will-O-Wisps, and I think there must be information on it somewhere, because after you capture the Will-O-Wisp, they can expire. And the narrator makes a quip. He says, if only you knew more about Will-O-Wisps, we could have prevented this tragic loss. I'm like, there must
so that must mean
there's got to be somewhere you learn more about the Will-O-Wisps.
Okay. There must be. I didn't find it.
I didn't either. A lot of some of these, and not all of it, but some of these puzzles are like, does this work? No. All right, this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Do I put this on the ground? I don't know.
And because it's a Sierra game, some stuff that you try kills you, and some stuff that you try, you lose a inventory item that you would need later. Like, just anyway, it can be really frustrating. I think if you're going to play any of the Quest for Glory games, my suggestion would be either play them either play them with a walkthrough handy, and don't just follow the walkthrough the entire time. Like that, that's not going to be super fun. But play them with a walkthrough handy and glance at it every now and then, especially for schedule stuff.
Yeah.
And save your game a lot.
As much as you can within the save slots, at least. And
/or play it when you have a lot of patience and a lot of time.
Yeah.
So that you can try a bunch of stuff, bang your head against a bunch of stuff, start the game over a bunch of times, play when you have a lot of time and patience.
Yeah. And you're so right. Like normally, I would be like, I just use a walkthrough for certain games. I think if you want to enjoy them, you might need a walkthrough. Mm-hmm. This one's tough because some of the joy from it is experiencing these things you didn't know were going to happen. That's kind of where the joy comes from, right? Is figuring these things out, getting the day right, getting your timing right on a lot of these puzzles. And for that to happen, it has to be through trial and error. But again, that's frustrating too. So I think I agree with you, is maybe have something handy.
And one of the things about getting the day right, as you say, is there might be stuff you don't even know because you just didn't happen to be in the right place at the right time on the right day, right?
Sure, yeah.
So on some level, even saying like, you got to give it, you got to try over and over again to try and like figure out what the, get the timing right or the day right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You might not even know there's something you should try over and over, right? Yeah, you might not know you're missing something. So I think actually the ideal way to play this game would be to play it through again when you had a lot of patience and time. Try and make your way through it just to get any ending that you can.
Yeah,
and then look at a walkthrough.
Yeah, I agree.
And see all the stuff you missed, and then go through again. I think this is generally how I played the Sierra games years ago when I first played them. Like somewhere between 5 and 6 years ago now.
Yeah,
is I would play most of them twice, or play them like 1.5 times. I'd get about halfway through the game, and then be like, something's wrong here. And then I'd pull up a walkthrough and be like, okay, this is all the stuff I missed.
Yeah.
And then I'd try to play the rest of the game without the walkthrough, fail a lot, then go through. Yeah, anyway.
That's how I got good at Dagger of Amon Ra is, honestly, I just played that game over and over again. And I still find stuff I didn't know. It's another one of those games where you can miss stuff and you don't even really know it's there. Sometimes you stumble upon it.
Right.
There are like special characters in Shadows of Darkness that you might miss. You might not get to them. You might not even see them. Like the Domovoy. You could miss that completely.
Yes.
Which is so frustrating.
Very frustrating. Okay, so what else do we have to say about this game?
I don't know. I think we hit on a shit ton. Honestly, I think we did a really good job discussing this game. I'm just so impressed by it, honestly. I know that it has problems. I know that some of the inventory puzzles aren't great. But there's just something about the town of Mordavia. Mm-hmm. There's something about this world with like the Dracula castle and the Romani camp and Baba Yaga's hut being there now, living there, temporarily. There's something about it. The characters too. And it's also one of the more unique looking Sierra games. the character portraits are extremely exaggerated and bizarre, to say the least. And they are not in their own little portrait boxes like they can be a lot of the time. I'm thinking about King's Quest 5, 6, where, you know, you're in a little portrait. These are just these kind of intense, very hyperbolic portraits on the screen, and the rest of the screen is black. And you just are listening or, you know, interrogating them with this little text box. I have not seen another, you know, Sierra game quite in that vein. What comes close is maybe Gabriel Knight. It came out around the same time, but even then, it was more like floating heads with Gabriel Knight. It's just, and they weren't exaggerating. Gabriel Knight had more grounded looking characters. The characters are definitely stylized in a very unique way, not always attractive way, let's say.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about Quest for Glory?
I don't think so. I think it's a very good way to start out Spooky Month, because it is, you know, it is spooky without being scary.
Yes.
It is very autumnal.
Very, yeah.
And it's a lot. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. It's a really fun game.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm glad we replayed it, and I kind of want to do it again. See, this is the problem. When I play these more involved games, I'm like, well, now I got to play the fighter class, and I don't have to. Nobody's asking me to do that.
Plus, you got a whole Spooky Month's worth of games to play.
I know, and I got to work on the X-Files, and spooky art, probably.
So, I think this wraps up our first Spooky Month
Oh my gosh,
episode.
I'm so excited.
Thank you guys so much for listening and for being here and for, hey, join our Discord.
That's right. Good news, everybody. We started a Discord. Matt came to me one beautiful sunny day and was like, we're getting requests to start a Discord. And I was like, yes. We should do that. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
So I was getting requests for this show and also my other show, Mutant Menace, both from fans to start a Discord. And so I was like, I don't want to start 2 Discords. And so I went to Pat and I went to Rose's and I said to each of them, hey, what if we started a Discord, like a joint Discord?
Yeah, it's a good idea. Honestly, it works.
Both of them were down, so we started a Discord. So there will be a link in the show notes. Yeah, go check it out. Go join us. It's already been a fucking load of fun in there.
It's great. These are your people. Just trust me.
Yes.
Just trust me on this, okay?
Talk adventure games, talk X-Men, talk about podcasts, or just talk about normal nerdy shit. They were talking about Warhammer figures.
Yeah, they're talking about Warhammer. They're talking about X-Men. Fucking nerds. I know some stuff about X-Men.
So
I know Wolverine.
Yes, you know one stuff about X-Men. So where else should they go if they want to engage with us, Roses?
If you would like to get updates, a good way to get updates on our show is to go to our Instagram page. That's Save Your Game Podcast on Instagram. Sometimes we post clips. Sometimes we post art. Mostly they're updates, but we do read all the comments. We really appreciate that. Or if you want to give us some suggestions or questions, we have an email account, mattandroses@gmail.com. You can email us.
Email us. You can submit questions on our Discord now, but we still like getting emails.
Hey, guess what?
What's up?
Nobody said they disliked my voice.
Oh, yeah!
Even though I so unwisely polled people in the last episode.
To be fair, the episode just came out today, and I didn't check YouTube comments, which is the place I would be the most scared to look.
I'm not gonna look. I don't care. I hate that woman's voice. Well, Matt. Well, my sweet summer child, Matt, Roses, who has been raptured. I only really have one lingering thought. I've been thinking it the whole time, actually, but I needed to wait until the right time to say it.
Okay, can you tell me about Make It Spooky?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Podcasts is art.
And art is suffer. I can only keep it going for like the beginning of a sentence. It fucks me up.